All right, let's talk about Christmas. We're all surrounded by it, right? The trees, the lights, the gift-giving. But what if I told you the story of how it all came to be is way more complex, a little controversial, and honestly, a lot more fascinating than you probably think? We're about to unwrap the real history of a holiday you only think you know.
So let me just ask you straight up. You think you know the story of Christmas? Well, I'm here to tell you that behind all the carols and good cheer, there's a secret history. We're talking pagan festivals, some very clever political moves, and a complete 19th century rebranding that literally invented the holiday we celebrate today.
Okay, let's dive right in. If you want to find the real roots of Christmas, you have to look way past the nativity story. I mean, we need to rewind the clock way back. Back to the bonfires and the big feasts of ancient Europe, all celebrating the darkest day of the year, the winter solstice.
Now this timeline, it reveals a pretty brilliant strategy. Here's the thing, the Bible never actually says when Jesus was born. So why December 25th? Well, it was no accident. Early church leaders, like Pope Julius I, they chose this date very deliberately. It was a super clever way to absorb these hugely popular pagan festivals like the Roman Saturnalia and Germanic Yule. It just made it way easier for people to switch to the new religion without having to give up their favorite winter parties.
And you can see just how deep those roots go. I mean, look at this. Does any of it look familiar? The big holiday feast, the Christmas tree, swapping gifts, even hanging up festive lights. Pretty much all of our most cherished customs are direct descendants of these ancient rituals that were all about celebrating light winning out over darkness.
But you know, this ancient festival didn't just smoothly morph into what we have today. For hundreds of years, it was a pretty rowdy, inconsistent, and sometimes even banned holiday. So how did it get completely rebranded into the celebration we all recognize? Well, that brings us to the Victorian era.
No, you heard that right, outlawed. Back in the 1600s, English Puritans thought Christmas celebrations were totally corrupt and not Christian at all. Parliament actually passed laws making it illegal to celebrate on December 25th. This just goes to show you that the cozy, universally loved holiday we have now is actually a pretty modern invention.
This is it. This is the moment where the Christmas we know and love really starts to take shape, right here in the 19th century. When Prince Albert brought the German tradition of a decorated Christmas tree to England, it just exploded in popularity. Then, a few years later, Charles Dickens publishes A Christmas Carol, and that completely redefines the whole spirit of the holiday. All of a sudden, Christmas wasn't just a party anymore. It was about family, about charity, and about goodwill to all.
So how did this reinvented, cozy family holiday turn into one of the biggest economic forces on the entire planet? I mean, the scale is just staggering. Let's take a look at the numbers.
Okay, first let's just get the big picture. About 70% of the whole US economy is powered by you and me, by consumer spending. This is so important to get because it means that one giant shopping season can have a massive impact on everything. And this is where that spending gets super concentrated. A whopping 20%, that's a fifth of all the money people spend in stores for the entire year, happens in just 2 months, November and December. For retailers, this is totally a make-or-break season. And the result of all that? A spending frenzy that is projected to hit over $1 trillion in the US alone. This isn't just a holiday anymore, it's a global economic phenomenon, and it's all fueled by our modern traditions. So what's driving all this incredible spending, even when times are tough? Well, it's emotional. As this analyst points out, we spend money to feel a sense of normalcy, to find some comfort. The act of celebrating, it becomes a kind of psychological need. But this evolution? It is far from over. I mean, just like the Victorians completely reinvented Christmas, technology and our changing values are about to transform it all over again. So this points to the next huge disruption. Just imagine, in the near future, your holiday shopping might not even be done by you. It might be handled by your own personal AI agent, whose only job is to find you the best deals. This is a future where retailers have to face a pretty startling new reality. Their best customer might not even be human. And at the same exact time, as prices go up, we're seeing a really clear shift in what we choose to buy. Surveys show that people are now way more likely to go for more affordable store brands instead of the big-name products. And that's forcing every retailer to completely rethink their strategy. And then there's sustainability, which is quickly becoming non-negotiable. Thanks to new regulations, especially over in Europe, we're heading towards a future with fully recyclable packaging and these things called digital product passports that will track an item's entire environmental impact, from factory to landfill. So, after this incredible journey we've been on, from pagan bonfires to Victorian living rooms to AI-powered shopping carts, what's the one thing that has stayed the same? What's at the heart of it all? You know, what we've seen is that Christmas has never been just one static thing. Its true identity is constant change. It's a chameleon, always adapting and absorbing the culture, the technology, and the values of whatever era it's in. But here's what's truly amazing. Despite all of these huge radical transformations, the holiday still taps into the same fundamental human need. That desire to find a little light in the darkness, to get together with our community, and to share some hope for the future. That feeling is just as old as those very first winter solstice fires.
And that leaves us with one final thought to chew on. Christmas has always been a mirror, reflecting the world around it. So as we continue to shape its future with our choices, our technology, and our values, what will that mirror reflect about us 100 years from now?